Today this is what we're creating. Basically it's an image that is broken up into different frames, and then we're going to create some text to just go underneath it. So we're learning two things today: how to do this really cool broken image using frames, but then also how to create a style and apply that style to some images and to some text. Now, for this tutorial, all you're going to need is a cool image and something to write about for that image. And what I'm going to do is just quickly go to Google. I'm going to copy this image of Malibu Beach in California. I'm going to paste it in there. It's pretty big, so I'm just going to go up here and change the size of the image. Drag that down. I might make it a bit smaller, so I'm just going to hold Control or Command on a Mac and drag that in. That'll do for now. So that's it there. I also want some text to go underneath my image. Now, luckily I've already prepared my text, so I'm just going to copy that and I will paste it here. Cool. So you're constructing a magazine or something, and you've got a cool looking image and you've got some text about that image, but now you want to make it look a little bit more interesting. So what we're going to do is focus on the image first. I'll just zoom in a little bit so we can see it. Basically, this cool technique I found on YouTube, and this guy had created an image and then wanted to break it up to make it look even more interesting. So what we do, once the image is there, we go over here on the left hand side and we grab this thing called the rectangle frame tool. And I'm just going to create some frames. And they can overlap, that's fine. And I'll just do one last one like that. Cool. I've drawn my frames in. I might just do one more. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this selection tool and I'm going to click on one of the frames and just go and rotate it a little bit, or I can stretch it out, but I'm just going to rotate them just slightly. Keep that one straight, rotate that one, keep that one, keep that one. I might just rotate this one a little bit. Cool. So I've got my basic frames of where I want the image to come into. I'm going to go over here, click on the picture, and I'm going to cut it out. I can right click and go cut. I can do a Control X on my keyboard, whatever. Basically I just want it cut out of my InDesign document. Now what I'm going to do is click on the individual frames and place the image into, not paste in place, but paste into the frame. And I'm going to do that to all of my frames. Now you can select all of your frames and just go paste into, but I'm just going to do it one at a time. And there we go. Okay. And there is our image and our text. Now don't worry about the blue borders, they won't come up. So I mean, you can have your frames further apart if you like, so that it doesn't look so choppy, I guess. Further apart, break them up, spread them out. It may have a better effect for you. Okay. The next part of this tutorial is creating a style and then applying it to the images. Then we'll create a style and apply it to the text. Now, if you can't see object styles, go over to the top where our workspaces are and change your workspace to say advanced. A lot of these will have the style in it, but advanced definitely does. Once you're in there, we're going to create a new style. So make sure you're in Object Styles, click on the New Style button. There it is there, you've just created it. It's called Object Style. We can double click on it and let's rename it. Call it whatever you like. I'm going to call it Picture Styles. And we're going to go down the bottom and we're going to add a style that we're going to apply to the images. Now in this case I just want a drop shadow, so I click on drop shadow. I'm going to make the opacity about 60% and I can change the color and the angle and things like that, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to hit OK. Now that I've created my style, it's time to actually apply it to an image. So I click on the image and the object style is set to none. Well, now I change it to the style I just created and the drop shadow gets put in place. I'm going to do it for all of my images, so I'm just going to highlight all of them and click on the style I created, and there we go. We've got our drop shadows onto our pictures. Now one thing that will happen is there may be a border around each image, so if we go back into our styles we may want to just get rid of a stroke. A stroke is a border, so if we get rid of that, have it at none, that will get rid of the black border that was around them. Or maybe you do want a border, so we'll go to stroke and we'll say we want a nice paper border, a little bit thicker, maybe like that, and hit OK on that. Okay, maybe that'll make it look even cooler. So we've just created a style and applied it to our pictures. Next thing we want to do is maybe do the same for our text. So I click on the text, I go to Object Styles, I create a new style. I'm going to call this Text Style. And there are a lot of things we can do with our text. Lots and lots of options. Text wrapping, text frames, paragraph styles, you name it. You can check all that out at your own will. I'm just going to create a drop shadow. I'm going to create a very, very light drop shadow. Let's do a, say, 35% will do, and let's hit OK on that. So we've got text style, we've clicked on the text and we've made sure that's applied. So if I say none, it's off. If I put it on, it's on. And that's it. We're going to export this. File, export. I'm going to call it magazine. I'll put on the desktop. Hit OK. And there it is there. Let's have a look. And there's our magazine. And it looks pretty cool. Our text has a nice little drop shadow on it. And our image looks fantastic with this cool little white borders around. It looks really, really good. So a normal image that looked like that now kind of looks a little bit more cooler, I think, with this. Anyways, that's another InDesign tutorial for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Look at some YouTube videos and some other tutorials. You'll pick up some really cool tips, just like creating this that I got off some random guy online. Okay, well, thanks again for watching.